Hello everyone, in this video we are going to start learning about the NET CSIR UGC NET paper 1 topics. So first topic is about information and communication technology or ICT. Let's have an introduction about this topic. Information and communication technology is a very wide topic. General abbreviations and terminology include basic computer terms, print media, satellites and terms such as internet, intranet, etc. For general abbreviations, the basic terms have been explained as parts of systems such as computers. In India, the education sector is facing many challenges because of two main factors. The first factor is a continuous increase in population. The population is increasing by geometric progression, and every year more and more students are seeking admissions in educational institutions to educate themselves. Hence, more institutions are required. There is an additional challenge to appoint more trained teachers. All this require more financial resources. The second dimension is knowledge explosion. In almost every subject, the knowledge is accumulative. This actually turns out to be a challenge for teachers as more knowledge is to be imparted within the available time, though the curriculum may remain unchanged. Today, from the time we wake up in the morning until the time we sleep, we are surrounded by media such as newspapers, radio, television, and computers. Sometimes we are not even aware that we are surrounded by these media. Gaining comprehensive knowledge in using information and communication technology tools or ICT is important in today's fast changing society. However, we are very often confused about what these media are. The optimum use of ICTs in India's higher education system can propel the country to become a knowledge superpower. The innovative use of information technology (IT) in higher education addresses the three fundamental challenges such as access, inquiry, and reality. Meaning of the information and communication technologies. According to United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) definition, ICTs are basically information handling tools such as our varied set of goods, applications, and services that are used to produce, store, process, contribute, and exchange information. ICT includes both old and new tools. Old ICT tools mainly include radio, TV, and telephone. New ICT tools mainly include computers, satellite, wireless technology, and the internet. These different tools are now able to work together and combine to form our over networked world. Our networked world, where we have a massive infrastructure of interconnected telephone services, standardized computing hardware, and internet, radio, and TV, which reaches into every nook and corner of the globe. ICT not only refer to the largest computer and the internet based technologies, but also refer to the simple audio visual aids such as transparencies, slides, cassettes, and video recordings, radio, television, and film. These conventional and more familiar technologies are referred under the collective heading of analog media, while the newer computer and internet based technologies are called digital media, analog media, and digital media. Never confused with these terms. Okay. The the differentiation between the old ICT and new ICT is subjective to some extent. ICT and education. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization or LPG. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization, coupled with advancement in IT, have opened up a new demand for skilled manpower, especially in the service sector. In this kind of scenario, education has been identified as one of the 12 main services under General Agreement on Trade and Services (GATS), which needs to be opened up for free flow of trade between countries. Knowledge is expected to become a tradable commodity, and it will be essential that Indian educators keep pace with the change or else perish in the face of competition from multinational forces in all fields of education and learning, including adult learning. According to Crows and Adam, the four basic rationales behind introducing ICT in education are as follows. Once again, liberalization, privatization, and globalization (LPG), coupled with the advancements in IT, have opened up a new demand for skilled manpower, especially in the service sector. In this kind of scenario, education has been identified as one of the 12 main services under General Agreement on Trade and Services (GATS), which needs to be opened up for free flow of trade between countries. Knowledge is expected to become a tradable commodity, and it will be essential that Indian educators keep pace with the change or else perish in the face of competition from multinational forces in all fields of education and learning, including adult learning. So, according to Gross and Adam, the four basic rationales behind introducing ICT in education are as follows. Basic rationales for introducing IT in education: social, keeping in view the role that technology now plays in society, students need to learn technology. And vocational, now most of the jobs require technical or technological orientation. Then catalytic, to enhance teaching effectiveness with the help of technology. Then pedagogical, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, I'm sorry, to make use of technology in enhancing learning, flexibility, and efficiency in the course of delivery. The various kinds of social, vocational, catalytic, pedagogical. Keeping the view in keeping the view in Keeping in view the role that technology now plays in society, students need to learn technology. Now, most of the jobs require technological orientation to enhance teaching effectiveness with the help of technology, to make use of technology in enhancing learning, flexibility, and efficiency in the course of delivery. The various kinds of ICT products available is relevant to education, such as teleconferencing, email, audio conferencing, TV lessons, radio broadcasts, interactive radio counseling, interactive voice response system, audio cassettes, and compact disc read-only memory CD-ROM have been used in education for different purposes. The objective must be clear while deciding to use ICTs. There are three ways in which ICT in education is considered in current thinking. There is ICT education, ICT supported education, and ICT enabled education. ICT education, it refers to the creation of trained manpower to meet the IT needs of knowledge society. The motivation is to train people in order to meet the manpower requirement of IT industry in both software and hardware. The role of ICT in the education policy of government is to equip students with IT skills. ICT supported education, it is sometimes termed as multimedia education. Nowadays, many distance education universities and institutions use ICT to supplement printed study materials. Here, ICT mainly includes broadcast media such as radio and TV programs, audio and video tapes. Multimedia content such as lessons are offered on CDs. And ICT enabled education. In this case, a comprehensive education program is purely delivered through ICTs, using them as the basic medium for the teaching learning process, as it require ICT access. Then target community of IT in India. As far as India's demographic profile is concerned, almost half of India's population is below 25 years of age. 70% people live in rural areas, and literary rate is around 60%, and people speak 15 major languages. The demand for education outstrips the conventional system's ability to provide it, leaving no alternative for the use of technology in education. Urban-rural divide, sometimes termed as digital divide, still exists in terms of access, equity, and resources. In the new educational system, there are four levels of learners. First level, the learners in this category can afford high cost of education for the sake of its quality. Second level, it consists of intelligent and competent students who are not able to afford the cost of education, so they prefer the existing public institutions and would soon be competing with the first level. And third level, it consists of the academically and financially poor students who seek access to education from not so qualitative institutions of higher learning. Fourth level, it consists of the illiterate and the poor. So, objectives of using ICT in higher education. The objectives of using ICTs are as follows: improving access to the system through online education, improving the quality of teaching, especially across remote locations, improving access to the system through online education, improving the quality of teaching, especially across remote locations, increasing transparency and strengthening systems, processes, and compliance norms in higher education institutions. Then measuring the students' learning participation and effectiveness, analyzing students' behavior to maximize students' involvement, then optimizing retentions and improving placements, analyzing students' performance, placement, application volume, website analytics, and social media metrics for brand audit. Strengths and limitations of ICTs. Strengths of ICT. Some of the strengths of ICTs are following: individualization of learning. Individualization of learning means that people learn as individuals and not as a homogeneous group. ICTs may offer flexibility to each individual to relate to the medium and its content. The concept of self paced learning helps in this process. Then, interactivity. Although interactivity feature, through interactivity feature, the learner can relate to the content more effectively, go forward and backward in the content, and start at any point depending upon prior knowledge and experience. It is not always necessary that the learner should move in a sequential manner. Then, a distance and climate insensitive. Teaching and learning could be taken out of the conventional education system of schools and colleges. So, teaching can be individualized and geoclimatic conditions. A combination of geographical distances and climatic conditions can be overcome as a result of ICT. Then, more economical, higher speed of delivery, and wider reach. With increase in number of learners, the unit overhead cost comes down even though the initial investment may be higher. The speed of delivery of contents is instantaneous, and multiple teaching functions and diverse audience. In using ICTs, especially the computer and internet-based technologies can be useful in drills and practices to help diagnose and solve problems for assessing information and knowledge about various related themes. Then uniform quality. If content is well produced and is of good quality, then the same quality can be delivered to the rich and the poor, and the urban and rural equally at the same low cost. This way of using ICTs can be a great equalizer. Limitations of ICT. ICT also has some certain weaknesses that we must understand. Some of the weaknesses depend upon the use of ICTs, and it includes the following: high infrastructure and startup costs. It costs money to build ICT systems and to maintain them. The cost of hardware and software can be very high. Little attention towards individual differences in order to achieve economics of scale. The higher the quantity, the lower will be the cost. To keep the cost low, we make the content common. We do not take into account the individual differences among students. It may create a digital divide within the class, as students who are more familiar with ICT recap more benefits and learn faster than those who are not familiar with the technological aspects. An accessibility issue. Not everyone has equal access. Therefore, not everyone benefits equally from the use of ICTs. A 100% reach of radio or a 90% reach of TV does not mean that all the listeners or viewers have access to the medium. Timing of broadcast, electricity supplies, sociocultural factors, poverty, literacy, time constraints, mobility, and relevance are the key factors influencing access. An ICT is basically a delivery system. A medium is different from the content. ICTs are essentially meant only to deliver content, and they are not expected to measure attitudinal or behavioral changes. Then, difficulty in performance evaluation. Learning from ICT is usually multidimensional in nature and with long term perspective. Thus, it may take longer time to assess performance in comparison to classroom assessment, which is spontaneous. And continuous training requirement as technologies change. There is a continuous need to train the trainers, which may sometimes be resisted by them. Also, since not all teachers are experts with ICT, they may lack knowledge in updating the course content online, which can slow down the learning among students. In fact, there is a need to train all stakeholders in ICT. Call for attitudinal change to understanding of teaching and learning. These are different media and have a different way of teaching from what we are accustomed to. Therefore, they need different ways of understanding what teaching and learning is all about. It may shift attention from the primary goal of the learning process to developing ICT skills, which is the secondary goal. Higher dependence on ICT affects the bonding process between the teacher and the student as ICT become a communication tool rather than face-to-face conversation, and thus the transactional distance increases. Then asynchronous and synchronous media. First one, asynchronous type: sender, stop data, start stop receiver. This next one is synchronous: sender, receiver. The potential threat of plagiarism is high as students can copy information rather than learning and developing their own skills. Then synchronous and asynchronous media. Based upon their characteristics, media technologies can be grouped into two categories, namely synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous media require all participants to be together at the same time, even though when they are in different locations. Asynchronous media allows participants in learning process to be at different times and at different places. Major ICT learning categories. In view of ICT, education can be classified into three main categories as follows: e-learning, blended learning, distance learning. In addition, there are face-to-face, self-paced, and online collaborative learning under major ICT learning categories. E-learning or electronic learning. It is also known as online learning and is commonly associated with the field of advanced learning technology or ALT, which deals with both the technologies and associated methodologies in learning using networked and or multimedia technologies. Distance education provided the base for e-learning development. E-learning can be on demand. It overcomes timing, attendance, and travel difficulties. It also allows higher participation and greater interaction. And blended learning. It is a combination of multiple approaches to learning. It is usually used to define a situation where different delivery methods are combined together to deliver a particular course. The methods may include a mixture of face-to-face learning, self-paced learning, and online classrooms. Face-to-face learning. It refers to learning that occurs in a traditional classroom setting where a faculty member delivers instructions to a group of learners. This could include lectures, workshops, presentations, tutoring, conferences, and so on. Then self-paced learning. It provides the flexibility to learn according to the availability of learner's own time and pace. It occurs in a variety of ways, such as reading specific chapters from the textbook, studying the course material presented through web-based or CD-based courses, attending pre-recorded classes or sessions, reading articles referred by the faculty members, working on assignments and projects, and searching and browsing the internet. An online collaborative learning. It involves interactions between the learner and the faculty member through the web. This interaction can occur in one of the following modes, such as through one, synchronous interaction or asynchronous interaction, which have been discussed earlier. Then distance learning. It is a type of education where students work on their own at home or at office and communicate with the faculty and other students through email, electronic forums, video conferences, chat rooms, instant messaging, and other forms of computer-based communication. It is also known as open learning. Most distance learning programs include a computer-based training or CBT system and communication tools to produce a virtual classroom. As the Internet and World Wide Web (WWW) are accessible from virtually all computer platforms, they are increasingly serving as the foundation for many distance learning systems. ICT also allow for the creation of digital resources like digital libraries where the students, teachers, and professionals can access research material and course material from any place at any time. Such facilities allow the networking of academics and researchers, and sharing of scholarly material leads to quality enhancement in teaching and learning. Then digital initiatives in higher education. Digital revolution has brought many changes in the higher education. In fact, every institute has taken various initiatives in promoting digital education. Various initiatives have been taken up, such as Swayam, India's own MOOC course, Massive Open Online course, Swayam Prabha, National Digital Library containing more than 6.5 million books, and National Academic Repository. UGC is in the process of developing online education regulation. MHRD has also taken measures such as cashless campus and digital financial literacy of communication by students. They aim to raise the gross enrollment ratio or GER. Gross enrollment ratio in the higher education is to be taken to 30 by 2020. The physical expansion of facilities requires both infrastructural and human resource limitations. The technology can be leveraged to address twin concerns of enhancing access and quality. The use of technology becomes imperative due to the following factors. First, affordable, next, high quality, then, 3, inclusive. Specifically to cover up rural, urban, and gender bias issues. Then, employability uses internet, smartphones, higher spend, skilling the unskilled, the Skill India mission. 2, democratize the opportunities of quality education. The government has launched the National Mission on Education through ICT, NMEICT, to translate the power of IT into expanded learning opportunities over a period of time. NMEICT has made significant gains by developing IT hyper interventions that have potential to change the higher education scenario. Now we can discuss various points for discussion of other points. National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. NMEICT is a centrally sponsored scheme to realize the potential of ICT in teaching learning process for the benefit of all the learners in higher education institutions anytime and anywhere. Content creation and connectivity along with provision for access devices for institutions and learners are the main objectives. Now many universities have been provided 1 Gbps connectivity and more than 14,000 colleges have also been provided VPN, virtual private network connectivity. AView software has been developed under the NMEICT for teacher training. This could become the basis for successful complementation of the proposed national mission on teachers under the Enlist program of InflibNet under NMBICT. Lakhs of ebooks and thousands of high quality paid e-journals have been made available to colleges and universities with a view to inculcate research culture in teachers and students. The model needs to be scaled up for maximizing coverage and for productive usage of the available resources. A national program on technology enhanced learning, NPTEL. National program on technology enhanced learning, NPTEL. NPTEL was initiated by 7 Indian institutions of technology: Bombay, Delhi, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, Guwahati, and Rook, along with the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, in 2003. 5 core disciplines were identified, namely civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and mechanical engineering, and 235 courses in web video format were developed in this phase. The main goal of NPTEL phase 2009 to 14 was to build on the engineering and core science courses launched previously on NPTEL phase 1. An additional 600 web and video courses were created in all major branches of engineering, physical science at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels, and management courses at the postgraduate level. Several improvements such as indexing of all video and web courses and keyword search were implanted. Then Swayam. It is an indigenous made in India IT massive open online courses platform for providing best college education that can be accessed by anyone, anytime and anywhere using the IT system. It was launched by Government of India to achieve the 3 cardinal principles of education: access, equity and quality. Access means to take the best teaching, learning, even to the most disadvantaged. It seeks to bridge the digital divide for the economically disadvantaged students at all levels. It is taught in classrooms from 9 the class till post graduation to be accessed by anyone, anywhere, at any time. The sessions are developed by best faculty and available free of cost. There are more than 1,000 especially chosen faculty members. The courses hosted on Swayam are in 4 quadrants, video tutorials covering a whole course, normally of 20 hours, each lecture not exceeding 30 minutes. E-content added to the learning imparted through the video tutorials, self-assessment, quizzes or assessments that intersperse the course, then discussion forum for posting queries. Features of Swayam, high quality learning experience using multimedia on anytime, anywhere basis. One-step web location for interactive e-content for all courses from school to university level. State-of-the-art system that allows easy access, monitoring and certification, peer group interaction and a discussion forum to clarify doubts, hybrid models that adds to the quality of classroom teaching. All this happens through by using audio, video, multimedia and state-of-art pedagogy technology. 9 national coordinators have been appointed. They are AICTE for self-paced and international courses, NPTEL for engineering, UGC for non-technical post-graduation education, CEC for undergraduate education, NCERT and NIOS for school education, IGNOU for out of the school students, IIMB for management studies and NITTTR for teacher training program. Students looking for certification shall be registered and be offered a certificate on successful completion of the course with a little fee. Little fee in the sense, 1,000. Yeah, I guess 1,000 rupees. Once I tried to have a course on this, so it costs me 1,000 rupees. Okay, for writing that exam along with getting a certificate. The assessment takes place through recorded examination, and the marks grades secured in this exam could be transferred to the academic record of the students. UGC has already issued the UGC credit framework for online learning courses through Swayam Regulation 2016, advising the universities to identify courses where credits can be transferred onto the academic record of the students. Swayam platform is indigenously developed by MHRD and AICTE with the help of Microsoft and would be ultimately capable of hosting 2,000 courses and 80,000 hours of learning covering school, undergraduate, postgraduate, engineering, law and other professional courses. Here we could see a picture which depicts Ministry of Human Resource Development, MOOC guidelines for developing online courses for Swayam, University Grant Commission, Gazette, Credit Framework for Online Learning Courses through Swayam, and All India Council for Technical Education Gazette, Credit Framework for Online Learning Courses through Swayam. So Swayam Prabha, the 32 educational DTH channels. The Swayam Prabha has been considered as the project for telecasting high quality educational programs through 32 DTH channels on 24/7 basis. Every day there will be new content of at least 4 hours which would be repeated 6 times a day, allowing the student to choose the time of his convenience. The DTH channels cover curriculum based course contents covering diverse disciplines such as arts, science, commerce, performing arts, social science and humanities subjects, engineering, technology, law, medicine, agriculture, etc. In higher education domain, all courses would be criterion certification ready in their detailed offering. Then school education levels, modules, curriculum and courses that can meet the needs of lifelong learners or Indian citizens in India and abroad. IIT PAL to assist the students in the classes 11 and 12. IIT PAL inspiring aspiring to join IITs, the 4 channels under this would be on mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. The project was conceived and completed within 3 months with the active participation of the Bhaskaracharya Satellite Application Center and Geoinformatics BISAG Gandhinagar and ECIL Hyderabad. The National Digital Library or NDL, a project titled Development of National Digital Library of India towards building a national asset, has been sanctioned to IIT Kharagpur under NMEICT by MHRD. NDL project aims to develop overall framework to collect large number of e-contents, virtual library, covering needs of learners with differing abilities for different levels of education, design and development of OAI PMH server for metadata harvesting, indexed, etc. Pan-India virtual teaching, learning evaluation, knowledge platform, and for key national assets. So we just learned a term called metadata, and I don't know what that means. So I'm going to search about that. Okay, so metadata is information that provides details about other data. It describes various attributes of data such as its origin, format, structure, and content. So metadata is used to help organize, manage, and understand data more efficiently. Examples of metadata include file metadata, information about a file such as its size, creation date, and file type. Then digital media metadata in context of photos, videos, or music. Metadata can include details like the date a photo was taken, the camera used, or the artist and album of a song. Then document metadata. For documents, metadata may include author information, document title, creation date, and keywords. Then web metadata. In web contexts, metadata can refer to HTML data tags or meta tags that describe a web page title, description, and keywords for search engine optimization or SEO. Then geospatial metadata. In geographic information systems, metadata include details about spatial data like coordinate systems, projection methods, and data sources. Library catalog metadata. In libraries, metadata helps categorize and locate books and other materials, including details like author, title, subject, and ISBN. And database metadata. Within database, metadata defines the structure of the database, including table and field names, data types, and constraints. So metadata plays a crucial role in data management, search, and retrieval, as it helps users and systems find, organize, and understand data more effectively. Pan-India virtual teaching, learning, evaluation, knowledge platform, and for key national asset. Collect resources from other ministries. There are more than 72 lakh digital books available through the NDL and available through mobile also. So National Academic Depository, NED. It is an initiative of MHRD to facilitate digital issuance, storage, access, and verification of academic awards issued by academic institutions. NAD is a unique, innovative, and progressive initiative under Digital India team towards achieving a digital enablement of the education records. NAD aspires to make the vision of digital academic certificates for every Indian a reality. Then Shodh Sindhu. More than 15,000 international electronic journals and e-books are made available to all the higher education institutions through the Shodh Sindhu initiative. This allows access to the best education resources in the world using digital mode. The InflibNet, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, is implementing this scheme. Then virtual labs. The physical distance and lack of other resources make us unable to perform experiments, especially when they involve sophisticated instruments. Good teachers are always a scarce resource. Web-based and video-based courses address the issue of teaching to some extent. They learn basic or advanced concepts to remote experimentation. Now it is possible to design good experiments around some of these equipments, which would enhance the learning of a student. Internet-based experimentation further permits use of resources, knowledge, software, and data available on the web. Apart from encouraging skillful experiments being simultaneously performed at points separated in space and possibly time. E-Yantra, an MHRD initiative model, NMEICT program named E-Yantra, is implemented to incorporate robotics into engineering education with the beginning of objective of engaging students. This needs exciting skills of mathematics, computer science, and engineering principles. E-Yantra creates projects that are based to train teachers. MHRD sees the core skills developed by IITB. All the projects and code are available on the E-Yantra website as open source content. Then campus connectivity, establishment of 1 Gbps connectivity to universities and 2512 kbps broadband connectivity to colleges has been provisioned under NMEICT. On guidelines from Digital India initiative of PMO, now the MHRD has now decided that campuses of universities having 1 Gbps bandwidth shall be made Wi-Fi enabled campus. All IITs, IIMs, and NITs have established Wi-Fi campuses. The process of laying the optical fiber and provision of the Wi-Fi in central universities is currently underway. Talk to a Teacher. Talk to a Teacher, developed by IIT Bombay, is an initiative of the National Mission on Education through ICT. It has been funded by MHRD to provide free access to a few selected graduate and postgraduate courses taught at IIT Bombay by distinguished faculty members and scholars at large. It uses a view collaboration tool developed by Amrita University for providing virtual classrooms to the facility across the country. These courses can be viewed absolutely free of charge at lower bandwidth on a personal computer, laptop having a headphone and internet connection. E-Acharya. E-Acharya, also called Integrated E-Content Portal of NMEICT, is the official repository of NMEICT e-content, and all content produced under NMEICT is being put at this repository platform at Infilibnet Center, Gandhinagar. The basic tenets of preservation for digital content implement standard metadata scheme and are provided. Contents are mostly provided by NCERT. Then eKalpa. It's another MHRD NMEICT initiative named as eKalpa. It creates digital learning environment for design in India. It has successfully achieved following objectives: digital online content for learning design with e-learning programs on design, digital design resource database including the craft sector, social networking for higher learning with collaborative learning space for design, design inputs for products of national mission in education through ICT, the free and open source software for education, FOSSEE project sanctioned to IIT Bombay has been promoting use of open source software in educational institutions. It does through institutional material such as spoken tutorials, documentation such as textbook companions, awareness programs, spoken tutorials, documentation such as textbook companions, awareness programs such as conferences, training workshops, and internships. Textbook Companion (TBC) is a collection of code for solved examples of standard textbooks. Scilab and Python TBCs are also on the cloud. Then eVidwan, the Information and Library Network, Inflibnet Center took the initiative called Vidwan, expert database and national researchers network with the financial support from NMEICT. The objectives of Vidwan is to collect academic and research profiles of scientists, faculty and research scientists working in leading academic and R&D organizations in India and abroad. Quickly and conveniently provide information about experts to peers, prospective collaborators, funding agencies, policy makers, and research scholars in the country. Establish communication directly with the experts who possesses the expertise needed by research scholars. Then identify peer reviewers for review of articles and research proposals and create information exchanges and networking opportunities among scientists. Central Cloud Infrastructure, the MHRD under NMEICT, has awarded a project to IIT Delhi to set up a robust 24 into 7 backed data center, and the activities have been put up at NIC NKN data center, and the cloud is called Badal. The IIT Delhi cloud is hosting e-content and video content of e-Acharya. Other major digital initiatives in higher education: Lekhika 2007. It was developed by the Center of the Development of Advanced Computing CDAC under India's IT machinery and ministry. I'm sorry, IT ministry and Israel's FTK Technologies. The objective of this project is to spread computer literacy to the masses in India who do not know English. A national program on technology and enhanced learning. It is a joint initiative of the IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, and IISc, Indian Institute of Science, to provide e-learning through online web and video courses in engineering, science, and humanities streams, which is aiming to enhance the quality of engineering education in the country by providing free online course. National Knowledge Network (NKN) and Connected Digital, an initiative has been undertaken to cover 1,000 institutions besides providing digital campuses, video conference classrooms, wireless hotspots, laptops, desktops to all students of professional or science courses, and Wi-Fi connectivity in hostels. Center for Distance Engineering Education Program CDEEP. CDEEP is an emulated classroom interaction program by using real-time interactive satellite technology. This was launched by the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay, EduSat. The launch of EduSat brought satellite connectivity to large parts of rural India. Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, is leveraging satellite TV and internet technologies to other online courses. Then IIMs, IIMC, IIMB, IIMK, IIMK, XLRI, and other management institutions and institutes have started offering courses in association with private players like Hicks Global Education, Reliance, NIIT, and so on. After the Distance Education Council DEC allowed them to do so in 2007. Then Brihaspati. This open source e-learning program has been developed by IIT Kanpur, private players. An increasing number of private players like Hux Global Education, Manipal Education Group, Centum Learning, UEI Global, Shivanadar University, and so on are offering online education courses in association with leading central and state universities having with good ICT infrastructure. Then digitization of books, e-textbooks. There is an increased trend towards creation of a digital repository of books to create a digital learning environment for students. The digital version of the books embedded with text, pictures, along with video stimulations and simulations and visualizations help the student to learn the concepts in an interactive way. The National Mission on Education through ICT plans to generate a new online course content for UG, PG, and doctoral education. Efforts are already underway to prepare the course content for 130 courses UG and PG. So, content delivery using IT or ICT. Higher education is purely a content driven play where education content is delivered through innovative use of ICT. There is an increased trend in higher education institutions to render content through radio, TV, and satellite. Open education resources. Many Indian universities are contemplating technology enabled free access to education resources. All India Council for Technical Education, Indian National Digital Library in Engineering and Technology, AICTE INDEST is a consortium set up by the Ministry of Human Resource to enhance greater access and greater annual savings in access of bibliographic database. UGC has also launched its Digital Library Consortium to provide access to peer-reviewed journals and bibliographic databases covering subjects such as arts, humanities, technology, and sciences. And then Virtual Technical Universities (VTU), a national mission on education through ICT, is working hard to establish a VTU to combat training to UG PG students along with the new teachers. It focuses on science, technology, management, and other related areas. Gyan Darshan, launched in 2000, Gyan Darshan is a joint effort of IGNOU and the ITs. It is a bouquet of channels that broadcasts education programs for school kids, university students, and adults. The courses are contributed by IGNOU, UGC Consortium for Educational Communication, UGC CEC, IITs, and so on. CEC is an inter-university center of UGC. Gyanvani. It is a bouquet of frequency modulation FM radio channels which broadcast programs contributed by institutions such as IGNOU and IITs under UGC country-wide classroom initiative. Education programs are telecast on Gyan Darshan and Doordarshan's national channel DD1 every day. Gyan Kosh. It is a knowledge repository launched by IGNOU in 2005 which aims at storing and preserving digital learning resources. Almost 95% of IGNOU's printed material has been digitized and uploaded on the repository. An Education and Research Network, ERNET. It is promoted by the Department of Information Technology, Government of India. It provides communication infrastructure and services to academic research institutions in India. It is undertaking networking projects such as AICTE NET, Indian Council of Agriculture Research ICAR NET, and UGC InfoNet to provide internet and intranet facilities. Sakshit Portal. Launched in 2006, Sakshit is a one-step education portal for addressing all the education and learning related needs of students, scholars, teachers and lifelong learners. It has been developed at IGNOU. The portal was developed by NIC and it provides links to vast knowledge resources, educational news, examination alerts, sample papers and other useful links are available on the web. It has an inbuilt repository of educational resources and online testing facility. Then Grid Garuda. It is India's first national grid, bringing together the academic, scientific, and research communities for developing their data and other applications. It is connected with National Knowledge Network (NKN), Shruti Drishti. It is basically created for visually impaired women empowerment. VIWE. IIT Madras. It has been assigned the task to develop e-contents for 996 courses. These courses belong to engineering, science, technology, humanities, and management. A consortium for educational communication. It has been tasked with the creation of e-content for 87 undergraduate courses. UGC. UGC has cleared a proposal to publish e-content for 77 postgraduate courses. PGC. Mobility. Nowadays, mobile phones play a crucial part for its unique features. They provide more than just voice calls. Technical gadgets such as smartphones, iPhones, Kindle, etc. have internet access and it allows students and facility to perform a wide range of assignments. Tasks like administration, sharing class notes, downloading lectures, instant messaging, and so on are possible wherever cell phone services are available. Mobile phones can now access computer files from remote locations with services like Sona. Students would who forget to bring an assignment to class can use their cell phones to access the completed work on their home computer and show it to the professor. The concept of social learning, web social networking such as blogs and wikis, YouTube iTunes, and Big Think are influencing a new trend in higher education. The emergence of smartphones such as the iPhone and other intelligent devices has enhanced mobile learning, referred to as M-learning. These technologies are create these technologies create new channels for content delivery, online video expansion, and podcasting. The adoption of virtual reality websites such as Second Life has provided higher education institutions with new venues for virtual class learning. A combination of Web 2 tools such as blogs, wikis, podcasts, mashups, and social networking communities have made traditional learning more social and personalized. To begin with, the initial learning management system (LMS) like Blackboard, Moodle, or WebCT course tool were course centered and teacher driven. In the recent past, it has become more and more learner centric. E-Journal Consortium AICTE INDEST is a consortium set up by the Ministry of Human Resources to enhance greater access and generate annual savings in the access of bibliographic databases. UGC has also launched its Digital Library Consortium to provide access to peer-reviewed journals and bibliographic databases covering subjects such as arts, humanities, and sciences. Key challenges in IT ICT adoption in Indian universities. The key challenges affecting the utilization of IT ICT in Indian higher education falls broadly into the following categories: lack of desired level of knowledge and technological readiness, low technology and people's readiness in order to realize the true potential of ICT in higher education, with the penetration of computers and the internet, especially in the rural areas, being extremely poor. Poor implementation, linguistic barriers, PEL, NTSC, and SCCAM. There are three video formats used in the world, where each is incompatible with the other, and these are PAL, NTSC, and SCCAM. Phase alternating line, PAL. PAL is a video signal standard. Its increased bandwidth allows for better picture quality. It is the analog of TV format which is used in majority of Western European and other major areas such as China, India, Australia, and South America. National Television System Committee (NTSC). It is mainly used in North American countries such as USA and Canada. This was the first color TV broadcast system. NTSC is also used in Asia, including Japan. Then sequential color awake memorial SCCM. It is also known as sequential color with memory. It is used mainly in France and many other Western European countries. CCM uses the same bandwidth as PAL but transmits the color information sequentially. Then frequency modulation. Frequency modulation, or FM, is a form of modulation which conveys information over a carrier wave by varying its frequency. Contrast this with amplitude modulation, in which the amplitude of the carrier is varied while its frequency remains constant. Then Prasar Bharati. This is a statutory autonomous body established under the Prasar Bharati Act. The board came into existence in 1997. Prasar Bharati is the public service broadcaster of the country. The objective of public service broadcasting is achieved through All India Radio and DD, which were earlier working as independent media units under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting (MOIB). All India Radio broadcasting started in India during 1927 with two privately owned transmitters, one at Bombay and the other at Calcutta, which were taken over by the government in 1930. These operated under the name Indian Broadcasting Service until 1936, and it was given the present name AIR. It came to be known as Akashvani from 1957 onwards. The AIR network comprises of national channels, regional stations, local radio stations, with Bharati centers, FM stereo services, external services, and northeastern services. Doordarshan. The experimental telecast started in Delhi in September 1957 with 59 with a small transmitter and a makeshift studio. The regular daily transmission started in 1965 The TV service was extended to the second city, Bombay, only in 1972. Till 1975, only 7 cities were covered by the TV. TV was separated from radio in 1976 and DD came into existence. National program was introduced in 1982 and from then onwards there has been a steady progress in DD. Swasth Bharat is the world's biggest health communication initiative launched on DD. Indian Space Program. Indian Space Research Organization ISRO has established two major space systems. Firstly, it is International Satellite System INSAT, geostationary satellites for communication TV broadcasting. Secondly, it is Indian remote sensing satellites used for resource monitoring. A transporter is a wireless communication device that picks up and responds to incoming signals. India's first EduSat GS83 was launched in 2004. Key bandwidth 12 to 18 GHz is mostly used for satellite TV and VSAT systems. Ka bandwidth 26.5 to 40 GHz is used in high definition satellite TV. G band has the highest bandwidth and L band has the lowest bandwidth. India's first moon mission Chandrayaan 1 was launched in the year 2003. Meteorological satellites MET satellite 1, 2, etc. have been named after Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana 1, Kalpana 2. Community radio stations. In December 2002, the Government of India approved a policy for the grant of licenses for setting up community radio stations to well-established educational institutions including the IITs and IIMs. EduRoam. It is a global service that enables students, researchers, and staff from the participating institutions to obtain internet connectivity across campuses and then visiting other participating institutions by simply opening their laptop or activating their smartphone or other portable services through Wi-Fi. The Internet Protocol Television IPTV. This is a digital TV and not PC that is delivered through high-speed internet broadband connection. In the service, channels are encoded in IP format and delivered to the TV through a set-top box that is required at the customer's location. IPTV service also include video on demand. Video on demand, similar to watching video CDs, DVDs using a VCD DVD player. The quality of digital video and audio is much better compared to the traditional analog TV. With additional features, it can become interactive as well. Doordarshan, being one of the largest TV networks, it started its service in 1959 in Delhi with the transmission of educational and developmental programs. The second TV center was started in 1972. DD is presently operating 31 TV channels besides free direct-to-home DTH services. DD National is the largest terrestrial network in the world and also the flagship channel for DD. Satellite transmission of all 31 DD channels is in digital mode. DD's DTH service called DD Plus 1 DD Digital Plus was started in 2004. DD also started its mobile TV service DVB H transmission at Delhi in 2007. Headed in the Sky HITS, it is Comcast's satellite-like multiplex service that provides cable channels for cable TV operations. At a traditional cable TV headland, multitudes of satellite dishes and antennas are used to grab cable stations from dozens of communication satellites. In contrast, HITS combines cable stations into multiplex signals on just a few satellites where cable TV companies can then put in hundreds of channels at a local headend with relatively little equipment. The HITS feed effectively replace more complex traditional head-end operations. Press and print media. Newspapers for India RNI. The Office of RNA came into being in 1956. It is mandatory for all newspapers and magazines to get them registered with RNA. Its head office is in New Delhi. Press Information Bureau (PIB). It is the nodal agency of the Government of India to disseminate information to the print and electronic media in government policies, program initiatives, and achievements. It has its headquarters in New Delhi. So, thank you for listening. Tomorrow we will be having a half hour session, 30-minute session. Thank you for listening. Keep going.